Welcome to another live broadcast, and today I have a special treat for all the New England Patriots fans out there who may be just a tad bit disappointed with how the Super Bowl went. I feel for y'all. It was a close game. I wouldn't feel down if I was any Patriots fans that are watching this. I have a little bit of a Super Bowl treat. So we have New England taking on Cleveland. This is a regular season matchup. The next game that we'll be playing, which should be tomorrow, is going to be Detroit against Philadelphia. So Philadelphia is going to get beat up. And Aaron Rodgers is on this Cleveland team to try and, make them good. They have won a game. They do still suck. It is Cleveland after all. But basically, that's all I can really say. It's Cleveland. They suck. What more do you need to know? Right now, I just want to focus on beating the crap out of them. And this is my little gift to all the New England fans who are upset about how the Super Bowl turned out. I can't say I was upset about how the Super Bowl turned out. I had Philadelphia winning that. I had them winning it 27-26. I did not have it as close of a game. That was a nice job right there. I didn't think that Rodgers was going to get the pass off. I thought Cyprien had him, but I will take that. So today we're just going to focus a little bit more on the gameplay, and we'll just see where it takes us. We're going to send Suggs on a little bit of a blitz right now. Jonathan Cyprien in the secondary as my free safety is a beast. I do have a lot of game glitches, unfortunately, with this game that I have to manage very carefully. There are some times, that's why one of the things I regret about doing live streams of Madden is I have to play through a lot of bugs, and I do live streams just so that people can't say, oh, well, you edited that in. So the big problem that we're going to have is trying to make sure that there's no bugs in this, especially where this is supposed to be a good game. This is how a New England offense should run. One of the things is not mentioning any names, but I think the Patriot way is a little bit bull. Just for the one reason that Philadelphia won because they let two of their key players go, who they said, oh, they're not worth the money that they're demanding in the free agent market. Well, I strongly disagree with that because they went and they ate you alive. I may or may not be referring to Chris Long and LeGarrette Blount. I most likely am, but that's something that I will leave for you to decide if I'm referring to those two players. But Philadelphia went out. They did not build around Carson Wentz, which I think is funny. People say, oh, they built around Carson Wentz. No. What Philadelphia did was they took the scraps that other teams didn't want. LeGarrette Blount was somebody that the Patriots said was too expensive despite leading the league in rushing touchdowns. It was top 5 in rushing yards last year. Chris Long wasn't like any big sack guy for them last year, but he was a key defensive rotational guy for them. And, this year they got James Harrison, and people gave James Harrison a lot of crap for actually leaving the Steelers. Which, everybody said, oh my God, the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl. Oh, the Steelers have such a high potent. Oh, the Steelers. And they overlooked Jacksonville. Not once, but twice this year, and they got their ass handed to them every single time. And he went and he signed with New England. And people thought, oh, well, this is a ploy. He's going to go to New England, and they're not going to do anything. They're going to meet in the next round of the playoffs, and they're not going to go anywhere. And I'm like, okay, you keep telling yourself that. I'm like, I don't know why people overrated the Steelers so much. I'm glad James Harrison left. He had a shot at another ring. I know he didn't get it, but he came closer than the entire Steelers organization did. So I think James Harrison deserves a lot of props. It's a gutsy call. That's a nice corner blitz there by Logan Ryan. See, we put the edge pressure from the left side with Momo Wilkerson and Thomas Davis, and that lets the corner just slip by unnoticed. That's how you run a corner blitz, ladies and gentlemen. If there's anybody in the NFL watching, that is how you do it. Not some of the bullshit corner blitzes that I see coming out of the league where you have a double team situation And on the very next play, he's going to get an interception. It's not going to be a pick six. No. A huge interception. So back-to-back plays of sack and interception simply from placement. Because a lot of secondary things are all about placement. And I think that's something a lot of teams don't realize, is you can do very well on defense if you know how to put your guys. Like a number 2 corner is not necessarily a man play corner. He's someone that you can put into a QB spy. There's Gronkowski getting his touchdown. One of the interesting things to come out of the Super Bowl was Gronkowski is more likely to retire than Tom Brady is. I do think that is a strong possibility, but I don't think it's going to happen. I honestly don't think it's going to happen. Personally, I think this is the end of an era in New England. People want us to talk about the rift between Tom Brady and Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick. I think that's a load of bull. I think there's 2 big problems that they had. One is they let a lot of people leave. Logan Ryan was their number 2 corner. They let him walk in free agency. They brought in Stephon Gilmore. He couldn't mesh with the secondary. That's one of their big problems. They let LeGarrette Blount leave. They let Chris Long leave. They let Jabal Shareed, who is a key defensive guy, they let him leave last year. So many pieces they let walk out the door because they want to get younger. They got Kony Ealy. They got Philip Dorsett. They got Brandon Cooks. And these were guys that they traded to get, that they had high hopes and high potential for. But, you know, they didn't do as much outside of Brandon Cooks. Of the names that I mentioned, how many of them were key pieces in the run that they had just this year? I think if you look at what Philadelphia did not go out and say, we're going to build around Carson Wentz. Contrary to popular belief, they did not do that. What Philadelphia went out and did is they acquired Alshon Jeffrey, who the Bears didn't want to pay. They got LeGarrette Blount, who the Patriots didn't want to pay. They got Chris Long, who the Patriots didn't want to play. They traded for Timmy Jernigan. Yes, he didn't appear in the second half of the season, but they still went out and got him because Baltimore wasn't willing to pay. They wanted to move on from him. They weren't going to assign him to a contract extension next year. A couple of pieces in the secondary. This is a team, by the way, that let go one of their number 1 receivers. I say one of their number 1 receivers. I'm going to apologize for that grammatic error. They let go their number 1 receiver in Jordan Matthews in a trade to improve their secondary with Ronald Darby. Yes, Ronald Darby didn't play as much time as you would have liked to see, but what he did play was stellar. And a lot of the players that they have on, with the exception of, I believe, Blunt, Foles, a couple other guys, those guys are all still going to be there. You know, Nick Foles was somebody that, okay, they wanted a backup quarterback. They wanted somebody that was familiar with the system. You want to go out there. You think they did a good job picking up Nick Foles as a backup quarterback? You know, yes, Carson Wentz got them as deep as he did and should have been the MVP over Tom Brady, in my opinion. I think Tom Brady literally just won the MVP because, oh my God, it's Tom Brady. I don't think he should have won. I would have rather had Carson Wentz. So that's just a personal bias. I know there may be some New England fans that are upset with that. Tom Brady is Tom Brady. He's going to do what he's going to do. He just set a record for the most yards in a Super Bowl game and lost. We know what Tom Brady can do. It's not a matter of, oh, Tom Brady, you know, it's this hotshot guy who hasn't done anything in his career. No, this is Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a household name. He's the face of the league. If you don't agree that he's a household name in the face of the league, you've been watching the XFL for the past 10 years and not the NFL. Because we cannot go one game in the NFL without a mention of Tom Brady. Even when he's not playing, commentators are mentioning, oh my God, it's Tom Brady. Oh my God, Tom Brady, Tom Brady, Tom Brady, Tom Brady, Tom Brady. Tom Brady deserves the praise. I just don't think he deserved MVP this year. That being said, I did not watch the Super Bowl. I did not watch NFL Honors. I basically watched the highlights. I haven't been watching football most of the season. I've been playing Madden, and I've been watching basketball because I'm much more interested in basketball this year. There's a little bit of a conspiracy that I'm working on with someone. There's a friend of mine that we are actually having a conversation that all of the NBA games have been pre-recorded and are fixed, and that the commissioner just goes in and plays the games on a replay. They've already been played. It's this big conspiracy theory type thing. It's the kind of a fun little joke that we have. Hang on. Right now, my run defense is a little bit skittish, and this is a very good run defense, so I'm trying to make sure I play a lot more effectively. This is also, by the way, the third week in a row that one of my teams has faced the Cleveland Browns. Miami, Washington, and now New England, back-to-back-to-back weeks. Different team, but they face New England every single time. So, 5 rushes, no yards per carry. That's pretty good. One of the problems I have with New England going forward, they are not going to be the same New England team of old. I'm sorry. They definitely have the ability to get back to a championship. I think as long as they have Tom Brady, they have the ability to get back to a championship. So, I think anybody who says, oh, the Patriots are done for, I just think it's going to be a lot harder because they're going to be losing 4 key pieces to the puzzle this year. Just on the coaching staff, they're going to be hard to replace. You're losing Matt Patricia. He's going to be the new head coach for the Lions. You're losing Josh McDaniels, who's going to be the new head coach for the Colts, most likely. You're going to be losing Dante Scarnecchian, your offensive line, who fixed your offensive line problems from last year and making them a lot better unit this year. Yeah, you're losing him to retirement, most likely. Because he said he was going to retire after 2 years. Well, guess what? It's been 2 years. And you're going to lose your quarterbacks coach, who is predicted right now to go be the offensive coordinator for Josh McDaniels' Colts team. On top of the fact that you may end up losing your defensive backs coach, rightly so. I think the defensive backs and the secondary was probably what performed the worst for New England this year. If I had to say any one spot, people put a lot of the blame for their Super Bowl loss on Matt Patricia. Yes, I like Matt Patricia, but I honestly don't think that's a fair assumption that, oh, it's all his fault that they lost that. They gave up 41 points. They weren't game planning that Philly was going to come out and be as aggressive as they were. They thought Philly was going to lay back. They were going to play like they had all season, rely on their defense, rely on their run game, and only pass when they weren't going to use Nick Foles. You realize that Nick Foles won all but one of the games that he played this year, one regular season game. They've had well over a month and a half to formulate an offense around Nick Foles. This is not the Carson Wentz playbook that they're using for him. This is the Nick Foles playbook. And I'm not a Doug Peterson fan. He's a nice guy. He's just not the kind of... I just don't like those... If you look like a middle school teacher to me, I don't think you should be an NFL coach. Maybe that's a little bit of my bias against... There's just too many middle school looking coaches in the league. I like my coaches with personality, good, bad, or otherwise. Your Bill Belichick's, your Bruce Arians, your Jack Del Rios. Jim Caldwell was one of those guys. Even the Harbaugh brothers, who I do not like. I'm going to sit there and say those are guys who all have personality to them, and I think that personality helps a coaching perspective. Players can get more energized around a coach with a high personality. People who played under Bruce Arians raved about him and loved him for a reason. It wasn't, oh, Bruce Arians is such a great motivator. Oh, Bruce Arians is such a great play caller. It was, Bruce Arians was a relatable guy. Say that Bill Belichick is not a very personable guy from an outside perspective. Maybe he's different in the locker rooms. I'd say the same thing about Tom Brady. They're not personable guys, but they can play and motivate people. They can motivate you when you don't want to play to play. That's a nice interception by Dante Hightower. And that's a nice pick six by Dante Hightower. That's another thing with the Patriots is a lot of the talk after the postseason was kind of blamed on all of the injuries that they had. Oh, if Edelman had been here, we wouldn't have done this. Oh, if Dorsett was healthy, we wouldn't have been here. Oh, if this guy was healthy. Oh, if that guy was healthy. Oh, the drama between the Garoppolo trade. The Garoppolo trade does not hurt New England at all. I'm sorry. If Tom Brady had gotten injured, then I would have said it hurt them. And even then I wouldn't have, because I don't think Garoppolo is the future of the team. Maybe San Francisco has better luck with him. But when you're playing a simple game plan for Garoppolo and he's executing it, you know, like that thing that he did in San Francisco when they won all those games to end the season. Oh wait, nope, he just got thrown away. You know, it's real easy to look like a franchise quarterback when all you're doing is freaking throwing slant routes and not using your arm. Oh yeah, he threw the ball deep a couple of times and he had a 40% completion. Wow, that's great. He also only threw 10 passes that were longer than 20 yards and he completed 4 of them. Great job. I can't say that after a total of 7 games that I'm ready to commit to this guy as a quote-unquote franchise quarterback. You know, if you're New England, you still have the ability to go out and get a quarterback very early in the draft. If you feel that Tom Brady is going to retire next year, you can get a quarterback in the 2nd round. I would not take a quarterback in the 1st round. I do like Rosen. I do like Darnold. I don't like them as 1st-round picks, particularly as 1 and 2. You know, Josh Allen, Mason Rudolph, a couple of these other people, Baker Mayfield. You know, physically, they all have their ups and downs. People say, oh, Josh Allen throws the ball too hard. When have you ever heard that said about an NFL quarterback? I mean, wasn't the talk that Jared Goff has little baby midget hands? That, and I mean that in a good way, not as an insult, but as in people literally said he had midget hands. That little people had bigger hands than he did. I cannot attest to that. Or not, as I've never in person seen his hands. But to be clear, if you're going to compare someone to a little person in a negative way, that is to be taken as an insult. So going from that to, oh my god, he throws the ball too hard, seems a little bit out of place. This is just a nice pickup to the fullback, because once again the AI doesn't watch the fullback at all. So, and one of the things I would look at with the quarterbacks in this year's draft is Josh Allen is a rare talent. And I don't mean that from a physical or a playable perspective. If I'm Cleveland, I jump on the guy. How many players do you know that are top 10 draft picks say, I want to go to Cleveland? You've already had Baker Mayfield say no. You've already had Josh Rosen say, I forget if it was Rosen or Darnold say they would prefer not to. And the other one just said no. You actually have a quarterback that's sitting here saying, hey guys, you want me to come play for you? I'm available. Take me number 1. This is a guy that is actually willing to come and play for, excuse my language, your shitty little franchise that hasn't done anything in the history of your franchise. Since they came back into the league, can you name one thing that Cleveland has done besides lose? Don't tell me that that's because that they made the playoffs, because any of their playoff appearances are flukes, in my opinion. This is the Cleveland Browns we're talking about. The Cleveland Browns. I'm not going to buy into the Cleveland Browns. I honestly don't know why the Browns keep taking quarterbacks, because every time they draft a quarterback high, they don't work out. Every time they sign a quarterback, it doesn't work out. Terrell Pryor was the best quarterback they had when he was playing wide receiver. But this is also in the days back when you wanted to clone Terrell Pryor and put 22 of them out in the field because he was literally the best player on that team. Then he went to other team, and they realized he wasn't the best player on the team anymore. Now you could say, well, that's because Cleveland sucks, or that's because you could say Terrell Pryor was good. I'm just going to go along with the assumption that Terrell Pryor was a good player and that they didn't really use him properly in Washington. That was a nice tackle. I did not think it was going to be a user hit stick, but that was a nice dive tackle by Nikovic. That's another problem that New England had, particularly in the secondary, was consistency and tackling. People wanted to look at New England this year and say, oh, they had problems with their coverage. They didn't get their coverages right. Right, but their tackling in the secondary was atrocious. Stephon Gilmore, who they brought in to be this big corner, this was a very different New England team as well. They kind of deviated from their normal routine that New England does, where New England's normally like the Green Bay Packers. They develop people. They don't go out and get big free agents. They went out this year and got a lot of big free agents and said that this is the year we're going to win it all. They tried to win one more, almost as if they knew they weren't going to get Tom Brady to come back another year. So they said, hey, we're going to go for it. We're going to win it all. And look how it turned out. They didn't really do anything. They got close, but I honestly don't believe Bill Belichick thinks close is enough anymore. And I don't know about you, but that just is a disappointment to me if you got that close and you lost. To me, I'd sit there and go, this is how Jacksonville felt, because there are a lot of people that are like, oh, they had Jacksonville crying after the game, and they were making fun of Jacksonville because they were crying. That's a young, emotional team that went from being a top 5 draft pick to a Super Bowl contender. And I'm going to say Super Bowl contender because they're literally 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from going to the Super Bowl. They just ended the game on 2 minutes and 30 seconds of bad play calling. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. Look at what Pittsburgh did, where they had a whole game against Jacksonville of bad play calling. Even the New England game, which a lot of people say, oh, that was such a bad game that New England played. But was it, though? Tom Brady had 500 passing yards. You lost by literally 1 score. I don't know how you can go out and say it was such a bad game. They lost by 1 score to a really good team. So I think this offseason is going to be interesting. I think the biggest move, to me, is the Alex Smith trade because of the domino effect that this does. Not the domino effect of, oh, where's Kirk Cousins going to go, which is now actually less complicated. Nick Foles is hot goods now. So you have a lot of people saying, why do we want to go after Kirk Cousins? We can go after Nick Foles because you can get him for cheaper than you can Kirk Cousins. This is a career, excuse me for saying this, a career backup who won Super Bowl MVP. They're not going to pay him Super Bowl MVP money, you know, Kirk Cousins money, without a Super Bowl MVP, because they don't think he's earned it. There goes Cyprien again with the interception, and this should be a pick 6 if I'm fast enough. No! Dang it! Oh, I thought I had a pick 6. Well, we're going to kick a field goal here. But I think the big, you know, you have to look. The big domino effect now has nothing to do with Nick Foles. Interestingly enough, it does have to do with Kirk Cousins. The Redskins have come out and said they're considering franchising him just so that they can trade him. Now, you have 2 big problems with this. One, franchising him is going to cost you a ton of money, putting the tag on him. It's going to mean that you will be paying him over 30, what's it? I think it's going to be like 34, maybe $36 million, which would make him one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid player. I don't have my numbers in front of me right now, obviously, because I'm playing. Matthew Stafford, I know, is low to mid 30s. I don't think that he's at 38 million, which I think is what Cousins is asking for, and that would be the highest paid total in the league. This is a big domino, though, because, okay, so if you franchise Cousins, you're now going to run into 2 problems. You're franchising him because you want to trade him, obviously. Situation A, they can't find a trade partner for him because it's too much money. They don't want to pay him that much money. You have to look, Minnesota's not going to be able to afford that much money because of their defense. Another situation that you are going to run into is you are not going to be able to pay a couple of your big key guys. If you're Denver may want to cut some payroll And that's why they could look maybe to fixing the offense rather than the defense, because their defense was not that great this year. So they could look and cut back on the defensive salary cap and say, okay, we're going to spend more money on the offense. Which, more power to you for trying something new, but John Elway should not deserve credit for, all the things he's done for this team. What did he do? What did he do last year to fix the glaring quarterback need that they had? He brought in Brock Osweiler before the start of the season to be a Band-Aid. Because he thought they were going to have an ouchie or a boo-boo with that position, which they did. Trevor Siemian, he was a game manager for a couple of years. People thought he was going to develop into more than that. Paxton Lynch hasn't played enough for us to really know whether or not he's going to be a game manager. So I can't say for certain whether or not some of these people are going to turn out the way they do. And I think that this team in Denver is highly overrated. I mean, they overpaid to keep C.J. Anderson. I would not have paid him that much money. They brought in Brock Osweiler because they weren't sure about their other quarterbacks, which they should have figured out whether or not. Same thing with the Jets. The Jets are looking for another quarterback. You haven't let Christian Hackenberg play one NFL snap in game. You're not sold on Bryce Petty. McGowan just put up some of the best numbers of his career. I don't necessarily think they're doing a great job of saying, hey, we're going to build a franchise. Their defense is obviously good, but, you know, defense wins championships. It doesn't win games. And you do see that a lot. You need a prolific offense nowadays to score in the regular season and get through the regular season. And you need a solid defense to win. Because Philly had no faith in their defense is one of the big keys. From playing Minnesota, which granted was a lackluster offense. They went from Minnesota, where they had a superb defense, to New England, where they knew they were going to have faith in their defense because, oh my God, they're playing Tom Brady. And they said, well, we're just going to take risks with our offense, and it worked. Because New England was not expecting Doug Peterson to take the risks that he did, and they paid off. That is what you get paid to do as an NFL coach, is to take risks. And whether or not they pay off is up to you. It's entirely execution. Like, one of the things you saw with New England this year is you could have the best play call in the world, Bill Belichick, and you can still lose games due to poor execution. It has nothing to do, this league has nothing to do with planning. It has everything to do with execution. You can plan for specific execution, and that is good game planning, and that's how you win games. That sounds very weird, but, I mean, we just saw it happen. You know, one of the problems that I did have with New England this year was lack of consistency. They had 5 running backs on roster that did a good job as a team, but to me, one of the things that really irked me was Mike Gillislee, who was one of their power backs, who got them through a tough stretch where they weren't running the ball, kind of got abandoned. Like, they just, abandoned him completely and went to your Dion Lewis, your James White, your Rex Burkhead. And that is something that I did not like that they did. Mostly because they needed that power back. You need somebody to take the ball off of Brady at times. LeGarrette Blount did that and was consistently doing that for you. You lost that threat, and the guy who was supposed to replace him, they didn't really use. They wanted to go to more of those scat back screen type plays, and it did bite them a lot of times. If they established a better run game in the first quarter, you know, that thing that Philadelphia did with LeGarrette Blount, they would have been able to do that. And Philly went even further. They knew they wanted to take the pressure off of Carson Wentz and eventually Nick Foles when he got injured. So they decided that the best thing to do was, hey, they got Jay Ajayi. Great job. I think that's something New England should have pulled off. I really do. New England could have easily gotten in on that trade for a pick. But they don't want to give up picks. That is one of the problems with New England is they're kind of afraid to give up their picks. They kind of want to hoard them. You know, like the Boston Celtics. But this is because they use them to get some of their bigger trade pieces. But I think you have to, when a situation comes up like this where you're all in, the way that this team was built, you kind of have to keep that theme going of going all in. Philip Dorsett was not the receiver you thought he was going to be. Trade him to Miami with a pick for Jay Ajayi is what I would have done. But that's not what they did. That's not what they wanted to do. Ah, look at that. Rodgers got a completion. It only took him 11 tries, so good for you. Good for you. I'm happy for you. He's not going to do anything else for the rest of the game. Well, he probably will, but... What's he doing? Come on, snap the ball. Wanted to tackle him so bad. I didn't care if he was out of bounds. I was going to tackle him nonetheless. You know, the NFL, that may have been a real penalty, but I'm not playing the NFL. Well, kind of am, but they don't need that. But one of the big things that I have a complaint about, not with New England, I know I've been bashing New England a little bit, but that's mostly because all these people who came into the game saying, oh, New England was going to win, New England was going to win, they didn't see the writing on the wall. One of the big problems, is Chris... Okay, so you got Chris Long and LeGarrette Blount, so they know the freaking game plan that New England's going to use. They won a Super Bowl last year. What were you thinking in the first place? You knew that they knew what the game plan was. You should have changed it up, because I saw what few plays I did see, mostly on the defensive side, were plays that they ran last year. You know, a lot of people say, oh, last year was so different with, they were playing Atlanta, and Atlanta was such a superior team. They were superior all the way around. If Atlanta was so superior, and they returned most of the same guys, I say most, there are a few pieces that are missing, why couldn't they go back again this year? They fought the good fight against Philadelphia. That was the toughest game that Philadelphia had all season, was that defensive showcase that Atlanta put up. You know, Atlanta, the high-scoring offense. So, we're actually... Hang on, I gotta go a little bit of no huddle here, because I want to get this play off before the end of the quarter. I tried to run with Tom Brady, just because I saw they weren't covering anybody downfield. Now we're gonna go vertical a little bit. Brandon Cooks is going to score a very, very, very long touchdown. And that's how we're going to end the first quarter. We're not going to make a first quarter substitution. I'm quite happy. I didn't even realize the game was over. I spent so much time talking about the Super Bowl. We spent 30 minutes talking about the Super Bowl. And the state of the league. So a couple of teams that will do a little bit of a draft whip around. Now that we know like some of the draft positioning in that. First round picks, there's a lot of talk, obviously. What's Cleveland going to do with the #1 overall pick? You know, last year they tried the strategy of best available player. I hate that idea of no matter what, draft the best available player, because that's a situation I could say Minnesota might have a problem with. And here's why. Okay, so Minnesota, let's say they had the #1 overall pick. And the best player available, no matter what, was Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield just wowed everybody away. He came out and he in one of his practice Pro Bowl senior whatever days, he came out and threw for 1,000,000 yards in one game. Unprecedented. He literally threw for 1,000,000 yards. Oh wow, everybody's so impressed. Okay, if you're Minnesota and you have Case Keenum and you have Teddy Bridgewater and you have Sam Bradford and you have Dang, if he had caught that, Cyprien was going for the pick. And you have the potential of getting Nick Foles, and you have the potential of getting Kirk Cousins. So that's 5 potential quarterbacks that they could have on roster. And let's say they trade with Cleveland and they get the number 1 pick. They trade Everson Griffin and they get the number 1 pick from Cleveland, right? Because they want the best player available. They want to win now. And the quarterback is the best available player. Why do you take a quarterback? That's a situation I don't understand. I never understood that theory, take best available player. I understand, well, best available player at a position of need. This is the NFL. You need a player at every position, quite literally. So, to me, you want to take the best available player at the position that is your second neediest. And I say that for 2 reasons. One is because if you take the best available player at the position that you need the most of, you are going to get screwed in a big way. Because you see this happen all the time. Teams need help running the ball. What do they go out and do is they take the biggest running back available, or the best running back available. I'm looking at you, Dallas. And they say, this is the guy we're going to go with. He's the best running back available. We're going to take him. He's going to solve our run game problems. He's going to take so much pressure off the quarterback. And if it's a draft bust, you've wasted that pick. And that's your biggest glaring need. If you take a player at the second position of need that you have. So, in that same situation, okay, so this is something the Giants should be looking at, is running the ball is not your problem. Your offensive line is the problem. When Eli Manning literally snaps the ball and is throwing it as soon as he takes 2 steps back, if he even is allowed to take 2 steps back, because that offensive line has more holes than the Titanic, they might be right there in the backfield saying, "Hi, give it the ball now." That is a situation where your offensive line is the problem. Okay, if they think running back is the problem, so then take O-line. Because now the player that you take is not as much of a bust. Because it's not the biggest glaring need. That's why I don't like taking quarterbacks first round. Because you can sit there and say, oh, well, we need a quarterback. But if the quarterback turns out to be a bust, you've wasted that pick. And you see this happen all the time. Cleveland takes Brandon Weeden when they could have taken any of the numerous 2nd, 3rd, 4th round quarterback options. I don't know, maybe Kirk Cousins, you know, that guy who you're thinking about getting? Is he short? Is he short? He should be short. Wait for it. 4th and 1. Yes. He's short. Gotta block it. I honestly think there's no reason to take the number 1 availability unless you are really sold on the guy and say he's not going to be a bust. Someone like a Jameis Winston at quarterback, somebody like a Leonard Fournette at running back, where you are absolutely certain this guy's not going to be a bust. Then I understand you taking them. Other than that, I would not recommend it. You can go out and get a free agent piece. The 2nd round, I think, is a better round for getting true 1st round talent. You can get a lot of 1st round players who slip through the cracks for dirt cheap in the 2nd round. People don't value 2nd round picks as highly as they do 1st round, so you're automatically guaranteed to get somebody. Oh yeah, that was a bad throw. I didn't see that guy dropping back. I thought he was going to blitz. So that was actually a good play by Cleveland. I'm a little bit upset with myself. Let's do this play, just to mix it up on him. Anyways, you have to look that you can't just sit there and say, we're going to do whatever it takes to win, so we're going to take the highest available player at a position of need, and we're going to win games. That's not how it works. Blake Bortles is an example of a quarterback who was very highly touted because of physical attributes. He's the biggest, he's the strongest, he's not the most accurate, but he's the biggest and the strongest and the baddest of the quarterbacks that produced Teddy Bridgewater and Johnny Manziel. Well, one of those quarterbacks is no longer in the league. One of those quarterbacks gets called trash on a regular basis, even though he's a decent quarterback. He would be an elite backup quarterback. He's a mediocre starting quarterback. And then you got Teddy Bridgewater, who, you know, after all this time in the league, we're still not sure. He's had up years, he's had down years, and then he's missed years because of injury. So, you can't really make a judgment on any of those quarterbacks. If you want to say who's the best quarterback of the bunch, I'm going to say it's Teddy Bridgewater. Still, to this day, best quarterback out of the first round of that draft class. And it's something that is amazing when you look at Cleveland wasted both of their first round picks that year. Once again, you have to look. They wanted a quarterback. They wanted a cornerback. Both of them are busts. Both of them are not playing right now because Justin Gilbert is a free agent that nobody wants to touch with a 50-foot pole. So you're not going to sit there and say that he's not a draft bust. You cannot justify either of those picks. This year's picks, they have a lot of good picks. Do they know how to use them is the question. Jabril Peppers should be used like a Swiss Army knife. Nice shot by Rob Ninkovich. Another sack. Was that 2 or 3? Will they put it up? No, they're not going to. But to me, I just don't think they know how to run an offense. I think one of the problems that you have in terms of Cleveland is inability to run an offense. Their defense was so good. And I do mean their defense was really good. Because here's a key stat that I have that I love. They went 0-16 this year. What did they do in those 0-16 games? Let me tell you what they did. They lost 4 games in overtime. They lost 10 of those games by 1 score. And in the other 6 games that they lost, they only had 3 losses of more than 3 possessions. Their defense played good. They also, in 2 games versus Pittsburgh, in the first game, they either were beating Pittsburgh or were tied with Pittsburgh, but except for literally the last second of the game when they lost on a game-winning field goal. That, to me, is not bad, especially considering how highly touted they were. Pittsburgh's worst games of the season were against Jacksonville and Cleveland, which to me says more about this Pittsburgh team than anything, that they're not as good as everybody said. You lost to Jacksonville twice. Yes, Jacksonville's a playoff team, but nobody had Jacksonville winning the division to start the season. Most people had the Texans or the Titans. Dang. When I pressed the button to switch with Ryan there, it spun me around where I was trying to go for the pick. So that play was a dangerous play. I got a little bit lucky there. I said I do not call cover 2. I'm not calling cover 2, by the way. So if you see that little prompt there where it says all those cover 2 plays and there's one play that's not a cover 2, that's what I'm going to be calling. That's a nice hit stick. Even though they're not going to give me credit for it. I can't believe he actually got the first 18 yards. Ouch. It's okay. I can get it back. Do a little pinch play. God dang, how are they catching the ball? I'm right there in their face with the hit stick. I'm going to do a man play now. I've had it up to here with this damn Cleveland team. They're on my side of the field. Oh, thank you, Aaron Rodgers. Oh my God, right into the loving arms of Patrick Chung. And now I'm just decided I'm going to mess with them because I'm not happy. We're going to do a little Hail Mary play here. This is something I think more NFL teams should be doing, but don't do. Ooh, wow. There was no protection on that. I agree. I get I took too long to throw that play, but no protection. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. They intercepted me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the worst game I have streamed so far. I apologize for this. We gotta stop talking about football. We gotta buckle down now. Are you kidding me? They sacked me and they picked me off. God. Devin McCourty did jump into that. I'm glad it was McCourty. I don't mind Devin McCourty. I just don't have him because he's too high priced, and I can get better production from Jonathan Cyprien. That's my thing. You know, I do have a Patriot Way sort of thing going on with most of my teams. Where can I get production from guys that I know? A lot of late round picks, like Chris Davis Jr. is my punt returner. Gives me solid production at that position for cheap. He's also a good cover corner, or more of a press corner than a cover corner, but... Nice! Come on, Logan Ryan. Come on, Logan Ryan. Yeah! Get my yards back. He got 2 picks. Aaron Rodgers is slinging this ball into my loving arms. He didn't do it the past couple of weeks. But, alright, I love this. Don't throw an interception. So there's a little trick to this right here. Literally just run the ball. If you throw an incompletion, they actually will penalize you for that, by the way. As don't throw an incompletion, they do penalize you for that. So we're just going to run the ball with LeGarrette Blount. I don't care what it takes. We're going to run the ball, and we're going to get this marker. Brady threw an interception. So Brady's going to come out at the half because he threw the interception, and I'm not happy. Yes, I get that was on me. I shouldn't have called a Hail Mary. I should have seen the coverage, but I'm going to blame it on Tom Brady. Just seems like that. See, there we go. Drive goal complete. We are going to blame it on Tom Brady. It's the only thing we can blame on Tom Brady in this game, because everything else has been pretty decent. You started at 6 for 6 with over 100 yards passing and a TD. That's pretty good. But like I said, this game was supposed to be a makeup game for the Patriots losing the Super Bowl. They were going to go pick on the worst team in the league in Cleveland. And I instead threw an interception. And so I've let everybody who's a Patriots fan down. Wah. I feel so sad. But, anyways, we got a long way to go, people. We still got a whole half, plus 10 minutes. We're already over 100 points. Playing it real slow and deliberate. No huddle. Dang, if you had just gotten back a little bit, you would have had that pick again. See, people don't believe safeties are good cover guys. I so wholeheartedly disagree with that. I think that they're some of the best athletes on the field, that they should be involved in coverage more. You can't just say that, oh, because they're not as fast, they're not as good at coverage. That's a load of bull. We're going to spread the line a little bit. I want to try something here. Yeah, I had to get that pressure. I saw from the way the offensive line was lined up, it was going to be a one-on-one block with Wilfork. So I wanted to take advantage of that and use his strength. Not to get the sack on Rodgers, but to get in his face and make him throw an incompletion. Because I knew he was going to throw it straight for the sideline as soon as I got pressure on him. That's one of the things. If you can get pressure on them, they're just going to throw the ball away to the sideline. Not a lot of running lanes for Chris Davis Jr., though. I've had a couple of big breaks, but most of my stuff has been interceptions. So we are going to go back to throwing the ball. We're not going to be as ambitious as we were before when I screwed things up, but... That's one of the reasons I don't really like watching people do gameplay on YouTube is they don't think they do anything wrong when they mess up. I'm willing to admit, look at that. I have thrown 7 touchdowns. That dance animation is horrible, by the way, Tom. I hope you know, whoever programmed some of the celebration animations in this game, they're not realistic and they're quite horrible. So I wish you luck. But that's not something you should be proud of. Not as bad as like Mass Effect Andromeda facial animations, but is pretty bad. If you're gonna ask me, like, okay, some of the draft things, who's the best guy in the draft right now? I honestly couldn't tell you. I haven't started. I still have all of my draft paperwork for guys that I've scouted. I did not do as much scouting this year. I say that the best cornerback prospect, if you're looking for a cornerback prospect to take in the first round, there's a guy from the University of Iowa. I believe his last name, I think it's like Josh Jackson or something like that. Again, I don't have my paperwork in front of me, and I apologize if I'm brutalizing my stats. He, to me, right now, is the best defensive back prospect in terms of cornerbacks. So, if you're looking for a corner, that's the guy I would take. He can play deep safety. He can play cover corner. He can play multiple rangy positions. I love that term in a secondary, is rangy. Not a lot of people use it nowadays. That sort of, and what I mean by that is, rangy is a guy, it's a combination of wrangly and range. Those guys who can, they're not afraid to go out there and make plays, but they also have a lot of range to do it. You don't have to have a specific coverage drawn up for them. They can use their natural athleticism in order to do it. Yeah, that's just a bad job covering Michael Bennett. He's not one of the fastest tight ends in the league, and they left him wide open. So that's another problem I had with New England, is they did go out of their way to get Martellus Bennett, and they didn't really use him. Now, I know there were injury problems in his season. Green Bay basically treated him like shit. But you ever notice that that's kind of what Green Bay does? Like, Green Bay is one of those teams that they draft a lot of their homegrown prospects, or they get young guys that are from other franchises that the franchise they don't seem to want, and they develop them. They don't really go out into free agency, and the guys that they do get in free agency usually don't last. Aside like a Charles Woodson, who got a Super Bowl ring, who was very good, but like Julius Peppers, they did not use him properly. Martellus Bennett, Jared Cook, those are rather big name acquisitions that did not go anywhere. Somebody get that ball. Somebody get that ball. I guess I got it. I don't know who did, but we're starting to get some pressure on Rodgers. When he's flushing out of the pocket, I usually have a game plan to get him. Just want to reach in there and get you. Once again, looking to play more of a short yardage game with him, just so I don't throw another pick again. Shot by Edelman. You know, I've heard a lot of people say so far, we're only a day removed from the Super Bowl, and there's already people saying, this wouldn't have happened if this, and this wouldn't have happened because of this. I'm sick of hearing talking about, oh, New England this, New England that. I can talk for days about why New England didn't win. What you want to talk about and commend is the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles played a good game and they won. And it's time to move on and start looking at free agents. There are a lot of ways that every team in the league can fix a position of need. I think wide receiver is going to be one of the easiest positions this year to fix. Contrary to popular belief, I think running back's going to be the hardest. And what's amazing to me, this is the year that teams need to take offensive linemen. I want to see an O-lineman taken first overall. We don't know if Joe Thomas is going to retire in Cleveland. Okay, you got to take Joe Thomas because you got to replace that left tackle. You're never going to get a guy who is as dependable as he was up until this year, never missed a snap. Do you know how hard that is? There's guys back in the olden days of football that can't even say that. And this is back in the time when they're like, everybody played all the time. So I'm excited for the future of the NFL, even though it looks bleak and doomful. Because the future of the NFL looks to be a lot better because of the XFL. the XFL is going to be dangerous and it's going to make fans appreciate the safety of the NFL. And I don't think it's going to make the NFL any more interesting or fun to watch. I think basketball has more fun. I honestly think basketball is more fun to watch. I watched... Okay, so the day of the Super Bowl, I watched the Lakers and the Thunder. That's what I did for the Super Bowl. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I didn't do a live stream. I was on the PS4 for about 5-10 minutes, maybe. Mostly just to check YouTube real quick. Nice play. Oh! Stop him! Yes. Okay, that was good. That was good. I didn't really... Yeah, like I said, I didn't really watch the Super Bowl. I watched that Thunder-Laker game. And... just to let you know, the last minute of the game, I'm jumping up and down, ranting and raving, screaming, the Lakers are going to be the first team in NBA history to, in a single season, blow 3 double-digit leads with a minute or less on the clock. They've already done it twice this year. And there's still plenty of time in the regular season for it to happen again. So, let's not count my chickens before they hatch. I'm a big Laker fan. But if they blew that game, I would have broken my TV probably. Something was gonna die. Because that game, it was a very good game by the Thunder. The fact that they played, you know, people say, oh, you played one of the worst teams in the league. They're a young, talented team. You can't say that you're playing one of the worst teams in the league. Like when you play Philadelphia, you can't say they're one of the worst teams in the league. I'm not a Ben Simmons fan at all. I don't think Ben Simmons is a good player. I see him as a 6'10" ball handler. He can't shoot. He can't hit free throws. He can't get steals. If you're going to play the point guard position, I literally ask 2 things of point guards that every point guard should be able to do. Pass the ball and get turnovers and get steals and put pressure on them. People say that Russell said for years Russell Westbrook was not a good defender. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that. And he's 4th in the league in steals this year. So anybody who wants to go out and say that Russell Westbrook is not a good defender, I'm going to point to the stat sheet and say, really? Because this says otherwise. Yes, he does get blown out of position every now and then, but I mean, who doesn't? Kobe Bryant was one of the greatest offensive threats in the history of the league. Kobe Bryant was a greater offensive threat when he was on the court than LeBron James is. Because Kobe Bryant didn't need somebody to score, to facilitate. LeBron doesn't need somebody to facilitate the ball for him so he can score, but he always has somebody like that for some reason. Fudge. Freaking juking tackles and everything. Look at that. That was a bad play. Man, every time I get into a tirade, I always give up big plays. I need to get this guy. I'm honestly going to sit here and say that in the NBA today is more interesting than the NFL. I will, and I'm going to stick by it. I think it's something that you have to deal with at the league. The NFL needs to deal with is that they're not the most popular league. Because the NBA is not trying to target the youth, what I call the youth audience. The young 20s and teenage market is not the market that they're going after. It's the market they're getting without ever having to ask for it. That's what the MLB is trying to do. That's what the NFL is trying to get, is to these young people who they view that as the new demographic, the new audience. They want to get those guys. And they don't want to watch the NFL. They don't want to watch MLB. They want to watch the NBA. The NBA is exciting. It's relatable. Anybody can go out and play in the NBA. All shapes, all sizes. You know, in the NFL, you've got to be this big, strong, fast player. Major League Baseball, you're either specialized or you're a do-it-all, everything man. There's not a lot of middle ground in those sports anymore. You see people of all walks of life in the NBA, which is a good thing. It's one of the most diverse leagues. It's truly an international league, even compared to baseball. People say, oh, baseball's an international league, too. Is it really, though? I mean, it's not really an American-dominated sport anymore. That's the big thing. Of course, it's an international league. It's not an American-dominated sport. Most of the people are Cuban, Dominican Republic, Venezuelan. You know, that is not a negative knock at all to Latinos. That is just a fact of life in the MLB. And you have a large basis of people that are not going to watch the MLB because there's not a large American player base as there used to be. You have a president in the White House like Donald Trump, the attitude of the country changes with it. You know, this is not taking it is taking a shot at Trump, but it's a shot that kind of has to get taken. Is when Obama was in office, you didn't have as public as a diversity problem as you do now with Donald Trump. He's not necessarily encouraging this behavior, he's not discouraging it either. So that's why the NBA is very popular right now. You know, when Donald Trump went after football, and people actually said, you know what, Goodell's doing better than Trump did. That was me. Basically said, Trump is messing with our football, put themselves in a situation. This controversies that we've had so far. What is wrong with Cleveland? You know, all in all, that's a good year. If you're the NBA. That's going on in the other two major leagues. Hockey and soccer, to me, don't really count. Soccer should be one of the fastest growing sports in this league, but it's one of the least watched. And hockey is, again, one of the most popular, but it's the least played. I can't call hockey a major sport, a top 3 sport, because there's a very low player base in the United States. You don't see people down in Texas playing hockey at such a high level that they're just lining up to sign up and play youth football. They do that. They'll line up for blocks. It's youth football time. It's a rite of passage. Let's go out there and play football. You'll see that happening in hockey. And part of the reason for that is because hockey is not... See, that's my thing. I'm not a hockey fan. I don't like when they went that reconference where they moved in there. Detroit is in the East now. How do you put Detroit in the East is my thing. You know, they got rid of the Thrashers. They said the Thrashers were not a sustainable enough franchise, and they wanted to bring the Jets back. I don't like the Winnipeg Jets. Why did you bring them back? No, down with the Winnipeg Jets. Their logo sucks. We already have the New York Jets. You know, I get that's America, not Canada, but we still have the New York Jets. We don't need these Jets in Canada. But looking at the NHL, you know, this big thing, people watch the NHL because they want to see fights. And with this league, the league has a problem with they don't want people fighting anymore. Okay, well, if you're wondering why your viewership is down, that's why. I have a lot of people, there's a lot of people that say, oh, fighting in sports is bad. I would love the proposal that was brought up a little while ago. The NBA was going to allow fighting. I think that's a wonderful idea. I really do. I mean, Nikolai Mirotic and what's his name? Bobby Portis Jr. They already demonstrated what can happen. Chicago was a pretty bad team. So I don't necessarily think that you can just say that's the only downfall, but it's also not interesting anymore how the playoff picture works out the playoff picture in the NHL is not as exciting anymore so you have 4 teams in each of these mini conferences, basically, that make it in. I mean, they should just go 32 teams. I think most pro franchises, with the exception of soccer, should go to a 30-team market. Should go to 32 market league. You see the NFL is so popular. Green Bay is the longest tenured, smallest major franchise. People love their Green Bay Packers. If you're in Green Bay and you are not a Packer fan, they will tell you something is wrong with you. You are a Packer fan for life if you're a Green Bay team. I jumped the route and I missed. So thank you for that drop. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I was going to get burned right there. But yeah, you have to look. San Diego. People love their San Diego Chargers. San Diego Superchargers. And then they left in the middle of the night in the same U-Haul truck that the Colts left for Indianapolis. In the same U-Haul truck that Boston, I mean not Boston, what's that team? The team that went to Baltimore, Cleveland. Cleveland left for Baltimore. So I think the NBA would benefit from a 32 league team. You know, Vegas is trying desperately to get into pro sports. They have a hockey team, you know, the #1 hockey team in the Western Conference. I do think they should be the Silver Knights and not the Golden Knights, because they are the Silver State. I think that would have been more historically accurate than the Golden Knights. That's kind of generic and stupid sounding. It's like, hey, look, it's the Vegas Central Florida team. But all in all, Vegas is doing pretty good. You know, for a hockey team that drafted a lot of people that were not necessarily, they're like the scrap heap, they said. People like James Neal and Marc-Andre Fleury, this is a scrap heap night, and nobody wants them. Really? Because, I mean, they're doing pretty good. They're not a very young team. I think in maybe a couple of years, they're going to have a big problem with where are they going to go from here. But I think that's the question for the future. They're in a position right now to contend for a championship. Trade deadline comes, they may be able to make a big move. And it's very rare for an expansion team in this day and age to go out and be able to contend come trade deadline time. I would like to see them go. It's like the past couple of years where you had San Jose and Nashville going. I was really rooting for those teams because those are small. They're American teams. And what the biggest racist stigma, and I do mean racist, when it comes to hockey, is that it's a Canadian cold weather sport. And San Jose and Nashville are not cold weather. You know, even though Nashville can be very cold with ice storms in the spring, they're not naturally a predominantly cold weather city. Like a Boston, like a Buffalo. They're not a Canadian team either. And they had a good mix of talent. So I definitely would like to see more of those young up-and-coming cities. Like, I would love to see Arizona, by the way, or Phoenix, whatever they call themselves, the Coyotes. They're like the Angels of the NHL, by the way. I would love to see the Coyotes go somewhere and break that stigma of you have to be a cold weather or a Canadian city in order to do good in the NHL. I would love to keep that up. And if Vegas can do it, all more power to you. Because they're helping break down what I call the country barrier. You know, I am a Bruins fan. As much shit as I talk about hockey, I am a Bruins fan. I just wish that the league was better, that the league was structured better. If there was a living, breathing commissioner in the NHL, people say that the NBA doesn't have a commissioner in Adam Silver. I would disagree. Adam Silver is just not a good commissioner. I said the same thing about David Stern, though, so... Honestly, if you're going to ask me who the best commissioner in the league is, I'm going to say Roger Goodell. Of all the major sport commissioners, I'm going to say Roger Goodell. Nobody has done more for the brand of football to make them a household talked-about name. Can you go one day without talking about the NFL? If you're a sports fan, like me, if you talk about sports to anybody you meet, you're going to mention the NFL in some capacity. 9 times out of 10. And Roger Goodell, for all of his problems and mistakes, whatever you want to call it, has helped develop the league into that thing. You talk about the NFL, whether you want to or not. I would say Adam Silver's a close second, but the NHL, no. Whoever's in charge of management in the NHL, and I'm not going to name names, because I honestly don't think the commissioner is in charge. It doesn't seem like it to me. It seems like he's more of a puppet head. I think this is a situation where they could use some better direction in the NHL. That's a nice job by Edelman right there. I didn't think he was going to break free. I was going to throw in a double coverage by accident again. I hope I didn't get picked off, but... Notice we're kicking a lot of PATs because we're going to have to do our 2-point conversions for the fourth quarter when the game decides it's not going to let me kick PATs anymore. I haven't touched the timeouts. I'm saving them for right here because it's under a minute. I think Cleveland goes try and run the ball, and I don't want them to do that. I want one more possession. So I'm going to try and do my darndest. I do like the fact that I'm beating up on Cleveland because, like I said, this is the 3rd week in a row now that I've played Cleveland. So that's, to me, that's awesome because they're 1-3. If they lose this game, they'll be 1-4. So they're 1-1 against the computer. And oh my God, Cleveland's actually winning. They actually won a game. It's a miracle. Cleveland won a game in Madden. Cleveland has that problem. Like the Cavaliers, the Cavaliers, they won a championship with LeBron. Like, the Warriors, I honestly believe that the Warriors would have won that. I hate the Warriors, and I've been rooting for the Cavs every year that they play the Warriors. But every time they play, you see the first year that they met, the Warriors crushed them. Oh, well, they didn't have Kevin Love. That doesn't have anything to do with it. Then the next year they won. Oh, well, it was because they had Kevin Love. No, it's because they had so much foul trouble with Draymond Green. With technical fouls. It's because they got a chip on their shoulder and thought they were the best team. Which they weren't. I still don't think they are the best team in the league, by the way. I think Toronto is the best team in the Eastern Conference. I think the Thunder are the best team in the Western Conference. Their records may not say it, but to me, the way they play, best team. What is the best record in the Eastern Conference that has the least televised games? Well, that's Toronto. You have to look. Okay, who's the team in front of them? Boston. Boston games are highly televised. Cleveland games are highly televised. So to me, best game in the Eastern Conference, or best team in the Eastern Conference, rather, with the least televised games is Toronto. A lot of people talked about Washington, how Washington was going to be this big threat. Miami's another team out there that is doing very well with very little games on TV. Because that appears to be the big benchmark in the NBA, is how often are your games televised dictates how well your team plays. Whether you are Houston, a Golden State, a Cleveland. Minnesota's doing well. They do have a couple of games. They've had a couple of games that have been televised. Atlanta, not as many games that are televised. Not doing great. Charlotte, not a lot of games televised. Not doing great. The Lakers are the Lakers. They're always going to get games. Just like the 76ers. When the 76ers were the worst team and the trust the process tanking period? Not trust the process Joel Embiid. Trust the process before him when they started tanking. That was a situation that I sat there and I rolled my eyes and I basically just said, they're showing games for such a crap team. And I didn't know why. We're going to make some halftime substitutions, by the way. Keep calling timeouts. I do have a little dog here that is kind of annoying me, so everybody in the broadcast, say hi to Rocky, because he's causing me to miss time on the game. And I better not screw this up because of him, so. My hand, I literally have one hand off the controller right now, so let's see. Somehow I made it out of there. See, this is a little trick that I learned. If you want to get one more play, you don't have any timeouts, do offsides, stop the clock right away. Had to do it.
Still fourth down.
I don't know if it's gonna, yeah, it still works. Alright, so we have a punt return opportunity here. We have to return this for a touchdown if we are going to do anything with this possession. It's not going to be a fieldable thing in terms of, oh, we're gonna we can run out of bounds, score a touchdown. No. Nope. Nice yardage though. Happy with the yardage. Skip, and we're gonna make some substitutions because I didn't make any in the first quarter, which I don't normally do. I'm a little bit surprised at that. Tom Brady is coming out. We are gonna put ooh, do we want to put Geno Smith in? No, we're going to put Jacoby Brissett in. We'll have Geno Smith come in fourth quarter, maybe. Blunt, you're going to come out. We're going to put Isaiah Crowell in. He's going to be the well, no. He'll be the pounder for the fourth quarter. We will put Andre Ellington in. I'm going to mess with them a little bit. Receiver. I'll leave everybody. I do need to go for more four receiver sets. Leave Joe Thomas in. Khalil Semele will stay in. Jeremy Zuta, stay in. Evan Mathis. Nah, put Marcus Cannon in. Andre Smith can come out for Charles Leno. Muhammad Wilkerson hasn't done a lot, so I will take him out for Will Sutton. Defensive line, or Rob Nikovic is playing well. I'm not going to pull him yet. Vincey Hankins, not going to pull them yet for Karan Reed. No, not going to pull him. Thomas Davis, or Dante Howard, not coming out. He'll come out for DeMarcus Ware. No again. Yeah, we'll stick with this. We have another batch of substitutions for the fourth. I am drinking the last of my energy drinks. Again, energy drink is called Balls, B-A-W-L-S. And people think I'm weird because I'm drinking Balls. But it is a very good energy drink. It is a natural energy drink in that it uses guarana. I would highly recommend that if you're going to have an energy drink, I would recommend guarana. I think it is one of the best natural energy stimulants besides caffeine. But see, caffeine doesn't work for me. Caffeine puts me to sleep. So caffeine does not work for me. That was not a good run. I am not happy. I'm going to run no huddle. Because I'm not happy with myself. We're going to play action with Jacoby Brissett.
Here we go.
Nice bullet pass. Is he going to tackle him? Yeah, he's basically going to make him run out of bounds. That's a good job right there. Gronkowski is not having the same game he had last week. Last week was a killer game, but still having a good game. You know, you have Gronkowski considering retirement now. There's a lot of talk about that. Dang, he is not running the ball well. He may have to come out early. Let's see how he does. Alrighty. I've about had it with him. Putting Chris Ivory in. He's not doing well. Give him his third carry. Strong eye, wide trail. I like this idea. Not because of the Edelman streak. I'm not going to go to him if I can, but I see a weakness right here. Oh! Oh, did they stuff me short? Yes, they did! Ah! Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. No, 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 no. Mesh, mesh, mesh. Yes! The Crocodinator! That's a nice play right there. I was happy with that. I tried to go for a quick run, and then I saw the blitz coming, and I'm like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. That's something that I like, this camera view. You know, they say, oh, you can have a lot of different camera views like this one. I don't like that camera view. I don't like that camera view because it's not overhead. Look at this. That's not overhead. Wait. There we go. No, wait. Yeah, I like that camera view. See? Nope, they gave him the touchdown. Okay. Yes, Rocky, I know. Come on, sit down. That clicking noise was me. I do apologize. That's one of the downfalls of being a live streamer is I can't edit this stuff out. I like doing stuff live, because this way there, if anybody watches this live, you will be able to watch what I am doing and what I am saying. Yes, there is a 5-second delay on it between the footage that you watch if you're watching it live and the footage on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, but I like that people sometimes can say, oh, well, images, some of the images are situational that took like 10 tries to get a situation in a game that you're trying to get and put on YouTube. No, it's all natural. It's all live. Malcolm Butler with the pick. Another gift wrap reception from one Aaron Rodgers. My secondary in New England is pretty good. Can't complain about them. Well, it's not true. Technically, you can complain about just about anything.
Here we go! Ohio! Ohio!
That went nowhere. I do have the clock running on Chew Clock just because I'm trying to eat up a little bit of time. Yeah, that dive tackle is not going anywhere, dude. I am going to run the ball. See, this is my thing. If you look at my New England teams, they are all high running teams. They all run the ball really well. The passing game is one of the more interesting parts where they're not as good passing the ball. And that's always been a thing with me. Regardless of what Madden I've played, I have Tom Brady. I don't need to focus on the passing game. Larry Fitzgerald is pretty much always the #1 receiver that I have with him. You know, he's got Edelman, this is a good receiving core because he's got Edelman, he's got Fitzgerald, he's got Cooks. But this is not the normal, this is kind of the normal thing. I have Edelman and Fitzgerald on most of the Madden rosters I have with Tom Brady because it's a reliable threat for Tom Brady. Tom Brady does not need big, dramatic playmakers. Tom Brady needs dependable wideouts. They're going to try a run. They're going to try a run, yeah. They're trying that draw play a lot. Spreading people out wide. I do have Ware coming on a delay blitz, so I'm not rushing just 3 guys, even though I probably only need the 3. See, we only need the 3. Nikovic is having a game, so I didn't want to pull him. Wilkerson wasn't doing so good, so I'm going to give him a little bit of rest. I don't normally pull my starters if they're doing well, which is why I'm trying to make an effort to pull some of them. Like some of the O-linemen I just won't pull. Well, offensive line is pretty much the hardest position to play in the NFL. I believe that wholeheartedly. They have all the blame put on them. They don't get any. You'll see people, commentators, giving praise to the offensive line for the fantastic blocking game that they could have. They're like, oh, there he goes again, giving up another sack. You know, Tony Romo, I do actually like Tony Romo. I didn't think I was gonna, but I like Tony Romo as a commentator. Damn it. Yeah, I just had nowhere to go. I got rid of the ball. Way bad coverage. I'm gonna stick with something similar. But I want to run. Go, go, go. Move, move, move. Block, block, block. Keep going. No huddle, no huddle. Bunches. This is not going to be a touchdown, even though I want it to be. Yeah. But that's a good conversion right there. I got Brissett moving the ball. I'm happy. I like to get all my receivers involved. I like all my receivers to have a reception. At the very least, a reception, if not a touchdown. That's a good run by Ivory. We're going to go a no huddle quick slant. Ah, touchdown. Martellus Bennett's having a game. What's that? CD number 4, I think. Making them pay in the red zone if they're going to leave tight ends on one-on-one coverage. In the red zone, tight ends are not guys that you want to leave covered one-on-one. Tight ends are not are kind of a glory position now compared to a fullback. I still think a good fullback can make or break a team. A guy like Mike Tolbert was a beast for Carolina for years. San Diego before that, when San Diego team that ran the ball with LaDainian Tomlinson. You want to know why they ran the ball so well, LaDainian Tomlinson? They had a fullback. His name was Mike Tolbert. Well, for a little while anyways. You have to have a lead blocker who can receive and run. And this is the numbers right here. Duke Johnson's having a good game against this defense compared to the Washington defense. Pinch linebackers. Playing Wilfork. Try and get free. Sack. Got it. Wilfork got the sack. Don't tell me he didn't. Yeah, I wasn't buying that play action at all. I hate when people are like, why do you do the play action? It does not work against some of my teams. It really doesn't. I don't buy play action that much. I don't watch other people's sports games. I would rather play myself. It's just one of those little things of mine that I don't like watching people play sports. I can watch live sports for that, or I can play it myself. Once again, making tight ends, making a pass. Tim Wright is more of a wide receiver, by the way, in the NFL than he is a tight end. I don't like how they have him lined up as a tight end. He's fast enough. He's fast enough to be a wide receiver. I think they just have him a tight end because he's a blocker. Which, if you're going to say that, move Larry Fitzgerald over to tight end then. I mean, Jermaine Gresham ain't getting any younger, and they don't have a good enough backup tight end over there, so... If you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, you need to move Larry Fitzgerald over to that position. Hour and a half into the stream, just about, and... It's going to be over a 2-hour stream, most likely, just because... They got double team there. Nice job, DeAndre Hall, corner blitz. Oh, only a half. I hate the half sack thing. That's a bit annoying. I've always hated that with the NFL. Oh, he gets a half a sack. That's not a stat. I'm sorry, people. Sorry to break it to you. It's not a stat. I am going to make a quick substitution to bring Jabal Shareed in for Rob Nikovic. That's what, right end, I believe? Yes. I just want to do it now before I forget. I probably would have left Nikovic in the whole game if I did. Lot of halfback draw plays that they're doing. Not a lot of designed runs. Yeah, he's not going to catch that. The pressure right in his face. That was a bad screenplay. Because the blitz was coming from the same side that they were trying to throw the screen to. So, because it was coming more from the left, that's why I sent, or the left on the screen, which is the right in the game. That's a bit annoying. Is he going to have a touchdown finally? By the way, for those of you who did not know, Chris Davis Jr. is the guy with the kick 6 for Auburn in the Iron Bowl. That is his big claim to fame. Most people do not know that Chris Davis Jr. is the kick returner, well, technically punt returner, but everybody says kick returner, in the big play, the kick 6. By the way, that is the most entertaining SEC game I have ever seen, and I've seen a lot of good SEC games. I think the SEC is the best league in college football. I would rather watch some SEC games than some NFL games, especially with some of the crap that they put out there and call a football game. Taking a risk. Cooks, touchdown. Is that number 3 for him, I think? That's just a design pass play that they didn't see. I cannot believe, though, that Jacoby Brissett only has 10 passing touchdowns. Mostly, I've been running the ball when he's in the game. Tom Brady's got most of the passing TDs, but he's a very good quarterback. Let me tell you something. If I'm Indianapolis, you know, Josh McDaniels has worked with Jacoby Brissett before. He may have a better time game planning for Jacoby Brissett than he does for Andrew Luck. I don't think Andrew Luck is the quarterback of the future for the Colts. I'm sorry if you're a Colts fan and you're listening to this. Let me tell you something. You want to get rid of him, you need Jacoby Brissett. People said, oh, he was so bad this year. No, he wasn't. He suffered from Eli Manning syndrome. It's called a bad offensive line. And that's exactly, by the way, what we are going to call it. It's Eli Manning syndrome, because Eli Manning has been stuck with it for years now. He had this back when they won Super Bowls. The only difference is they had Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jennings to alleviate some of the pressure. Draw play? Yeah. Draw plays are getting a bit old. I'm a bit sick of them. Cover 3, buzz 2. Jabal Shareed on the outside. That may be a double right there. Oh, wow, no. Pressure coming. He did a good job trying to block it, but it did not work out. It did not work for him. Trying at a punt return. A lot of people, they see the scores for this game and they think I'm bullshitting them, but I keep putting out live streams of 199, 200 to nothing on all pro difficulty. You want to know why? Because this computer is not good. You play against a real person, it's very different. Computer is easy to manipulate. We got a long field to work with. I'm going to go back to that 4-receiver set. And we're going to see what we can do. Okay. I was trying to get the ball out, and it didn't give me the confirmation. I was trying to throw to Funchess number R1 there, and it didn't, so we're going to do the same exact play again. And this time it worked. We're going to do a quarterback draw right here. Real interesting choice.
Here we go.
Nice block, nice block, nice block. Smash. Gonna run that little bit of no huddle with Brissett.
Here we go.
Ah, that was a bad drop. That was a drop. The hit forcing the ball. It's okay. Go back to the run game. That's what it's there for. It is a little bit tiring being the sports person that I am watching football. That's why I just, like, stopped this year. Like, I came home from work, and I did not want to watch the NFL. Can you know how hard that is? As somebody who grew up loving football, and still loves football to this day, that I sat there and said, you know what, I just can't watch the NFL right now. I can't do it. It's just so annoying. Offense. The penalties that they call 90% of the time are on the defense. And it's just so hard as somebody who loves defensive matchups. My favorite game this year, I did watch this almost all the way through. I missed about the first quarter, I believe. No, I missed the first half of the first quarter, was Dallas and Atlanta. My boy Adrian Claiborne, 6 sacks in one game. And it was awesome. And I love that game. I love rubbing it in Cowboys fans' faces when I went to work, because they were sitting there talking smack about how they're gonna beat them Falcons. Falcons on the slide. Yeah, we gonna beat them Falcons, and they got their ass handed to them by one guy. Granted, some of that may have been, okay, Tyron Smith wasn't in the game, but you're gonna blame a whole team loss like that on one guy? That's kind of hard. That is kind of hard to do, to blame it all on one guy. So, I mean, that was a good game. It was a great defensive game. I watched Detroit games this year. Detroit is my team, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I do not want to watch some of my own team's games. Goes to show you how disinterested with football I was. I'd still continue to be. I didn't watch NCAA football for the most part. I watch a game here or there. I watched less NCAA than I did NFL. Mostly because all the good games were at night, and I had to go to bed for like 7, 8 o'clock. Go to work the next day, so. That's why I'm probably going to put out a ton of videos just because I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I can stay up real late. I wanted to go to bed, like yesterday, I was going to come home and sleep, but I had to stay late for work. So I decided, okay, instead I was going to watch the game, and then I spent a few minutes online, just a few.
Here we go. Let's round.
Try and run a little bit of clock. Not doing a good job stopping Ivory. We are in Cleveland. We are in the Dog Pound. That is a weird name, by the way, for anybody who knows what the Dog Pound is. That's a very weird name for a stadium. Finally, somebody brought him down. Jeez, were they going to let him score a touchdown? Put a little pass play in here just to mess with them. Edelman's gonna go the other way. Edelman's gonna go the other way. Surprised they haven't blocked a kick yet. Maybe I'm jinxing myself. Nope, I'm not. Okay. Normally they block kicks. Normally by this point I've had at least one kick blocked. Little bit scared now because they haven't blocked a kick. I'm used to them blocking kicks. I never have a perfect game. Either I have like this really sharp gust of wind that blows kicks just haywire, so I don't have like a perfect kicking game, or they block one. There's a blitz. Just a little NFL note for me. I don't believe... Ooh! I don't know who got the sack. Who got the sack? Hankins! Good job. I don't know how next year's NFL is going to turn out, but if you want me to give you a quick prediction, it will not be the Chiefs. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to be the next Carson Wentz. I think Deshaun Watson is more likely to. But I have a lot of friends who are Chiefs fans who are telling me that they have the next Carson Wentz on their hands in the form of Patrick Mahomes and that they're going to the Super Bowl next year. If you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, I'm sorry to break it to you. I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think. He reminds me a lot of a young Jay Cutler, and that's a very scary thought. Let's see what they're going to do. They're probably going to kick it to me. I haven't done anything to offend the kicker or the punter yet. Haven't been able to return anything big. I was trying to cut back. His cutback move is not great. Quick change of direction because he is a cornerback. He's not like a running back or anything, so. We're going to sneak some read option in with Brissett. Oh, that's a beautiful play call. That's a beautiful play call right there. So we're calling the same formation. I'm going to put Fitzgerald on a slant. Get it, yeah. See right there, I had a couple of guys. The QB spy bit on the run play. They had that middle linebacker on a QB spy. He bit on the run play big time. O-line's holding up nice. It's 220-0 going, still in the third. Defense is playing better with the second half substitutions. Remember, different player personnel, because that's the big thing for me is player personnel being able to rotate. If you know, like if I have to go back to Super Bowl again. If you are New England, you know one of the reasons why they were able to win is because they weren't sure what personnel that the Eagles were going to have. Were they going to have Alshon Jeffrey as the number one receiver? Were they going to have Torrey Smith as the number one receiver? Were they going to have Jay Ajayi as the primary running back? Were they going to have LeGarrette Blount as the primary running back? You didn't know that. And that, I think, was the big thing as to why they were so effective, is you weren't sure. This is a run play, isn't it? He did not want to go down. He just ran into bodies. I think they're going to pass it, but I'll play it in case it's a QB draw. We're going to go with a cover one. One of the things you'll see a lot of time with me is I have a lot of underneath coverages. I find that's the best thing. I'm not afraid to give up an underneath. Ooh, Logan Ryan's having himself a game. 3 interceptions. 8 of the season. Oh my goodness. Wow. Go 4 receiver set again. Keep going, keep going. Rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. Sneak in the read option again. Yeah, I read that wrong. I was trying to do I didn't want to do a QB run, so we'll sneak, do a quick pass, and then we'll go back to the run again, probably. I'm liking the matchup Edelman has, but I think it's going to be covered pretty deep. Oh, no, wait. Yep, just got that window in there. Go to a goal line formation real quick. Play action, power run. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, I see a hole. I see a hole already. I see a hole. And I took it. I thought one of my blockers was actually going to slide a little bit more right. But that was a nice play. So hopefully Cleveland will run out the clock so I can start the fourth quarter with fresh substitutions. This may be the last PAT that we try. We'll have to find out. Oh my goodness, an hour 45. This is the downside to man. This is why I have to play it. I am so glad that they have moved my schedule at work to the early shift, where I'm leaving my house usually at 4 o'clock in the morning. I am so happy because now, when I get home, I can play a game of man. If I get home for 1:30, I can pop in man and play. Because I need at least 2 to 2.5 hours for a game of man. Before I was doing broadcasting man, I would put music on my headset. That's why there's no commentary for the gameplay except mine. It's because I would just do music. But I don't want to play music when I'm doing this because I do not want to have anybody... If there is anybody watching the channel, I don't want them to end up suing me because they tell some music person like Elton John, I'm playing I'm Still Standing by Elton John. Yeah, I don't want Elton John coming after me. Shareed almost had the sack. Frickin' Rodgers slipping out of the pocket. No, get back here and get tackled. I got a collarbone I got to break with you. You know, did anybody get the feeling that Aaron Rodgers is the new Tony Romo? Constantly breaking either his back or his leg or his collarbone or something? I get that feeling. He's going to be the new Tony Romo. I'm not even trying to return for touchdowns anymore because I know the lane is not there. I need a good cutback return, man. Let's see what Brissett can do. We're still throwing the ball a lot more than I probably should. Nice catch. Tight window. I didn't think he was going to get it. No huddle. Sneak in a run play. It'll be the last play of the game if we can get it lined up. Line up, line up, line up, line up. Yes! Go, 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 go. Touchdown. Touchdown. Touchdown, you're not going to catch me. Alright, that's nice. In the third quarter. Last carry of the game for Ivory. It's a 45-yard touchdown. That's nice. Nope. Alright, so now we're going to make some substitutions. A little bit of everything. No injuries so far, which is good. Gino's going to come in. Crowell is going to just pound the rock. We're going to make substitutions. Edelman's going to come out. We're going to slide Cooks to number 1. And Funchess will come in. Mitchell will come in. Actually, we're going to put Mitchell as number 1. Place of Cooks. Really going to mess with everyone. Defensively, Vince Wilfork will come out. We'll put Hankins in. Have Reed come in. Ware's not doing anything. Jeremiah Atuchu. He could do better. Dante Hightower is having a great game, but want to keep him healthy. We'll put Reggie Ragland in. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to change my secondary. That's pretty much the one place I don't change because it's very easy to pass in this game compared to the last year's men. Well, I mean, 2 years ago's men in terms of right now. This is last year's men for me because this is 17. So, man 16. My mic just went flying out of my controller as I dropped my controller by accident. So, new set of defensive guys and new set of offensive guys and see what we can do. They are going to pass that a lot more, so I probably shouldn't be bringing a blitz. That was stupid. I forgot, because they're going to pass it now. Those little fight things are a bit annoying that they have. Those little fight sequences where it's like, they try and talk a big game to each other. That I don't like. Ah! It counted as a completion of no yardage. Oh, no, wait, they said incompletion. Wow.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Love they say single receiver, you're on an island over there. No, you're not on an island. We're not. Darrelle Revis isn't playing. Revis Island no longer exists. I am glad. I believe it was the Chiefs picked him up. I am happy about that. Was it the Chiefs? Yeah. He still, I think, can play. He can't play what he used to, but he can still play. There's a lot of people I wish would still play. You know, you have some of these young guys going out there, I'm retiring. I fear for my life playing football. Well, then why did you play football to begin with? Like, why did you start playing if it's so dangerous? Don't tell me you didn't know the risks. The concussion risk in football has been around for so long. Catch your first career touchdown. He hasn't caught a touchdown? Crap. Well, so much for running the ball with him. I'm going to have to throw it. Wait. Hang on, I gotta check the injury report. Is he the one who's injured? Why is he not in the lineup? Oh, he is the one that's injured! Oh, crap. So, I gotta take him out. Who's the other guy I'm thinking of? Conley! I don't know why Conley is never there. Okay, Conley's going in. Alright, sorry about that, Gino. Run the ball with Crowell. That's what we brought him in here for, because we're going to run the ball so much in this quarter. Wow. Just freaking wow. Oh! Alright, I didn't see that coming. I was so focused on coverage. Okay, that's it. We gotta run our trick play. We need 21 yards on our trick play package. No! 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 Oh! Oh, I can't believe it! My sprint button would not work. Okay, so now I'm screwed. Now they can kick a field goal against me. Ladies and gentlemen, I need a turnover. Or a lot of sacks. Or a turnover. Oh my God! Oh, I'm getting so angry right now. I am getting so angry right now. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I need a turnover here. Or a sack. I will take that sack. But they're still in field goal range. I need another sack. I really need a turnover here. Really need a turnover. I don't want to give up a field goal to Cleveland. Oh, no! They're in great field goal position! Oh, I gotta hope he misses it. Yes! He missed it! Oh! Oh, that was a close block attempt, but I can't believe he missed it! Okay. Seeing as they did not, our plan before of the deep pass that didn't work, and then the run play that didn't work, and then the pass play that didn't work, and then the fake attempt that didn't work. They're shutting it in. No. Get that block, dude. Get that block. He's gone. You're not going to catch me. I got angry.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
You make me get angry, bad things are gonna happen. That was one of them. I forgot I don't have a kicking meter. Yeah, I forgot I don't have the kicking meter. And I have to start simulating this crap. I don't like that. Okay, now I can play a little bit more loose. Play some foot loose. They may try a draw play here, though. Nope. That free safety moves to the ball too late. I don't mean free safety is Jonathan Cyprien. I mean whoever's out deep guarding plays way too loose for my liking. They're not going to run it here. Why would they do that? Ow, a tutu! Come on, man. You were a tight end before. You were a defensive end. And then a linebacker. You should have had that.
Check 83. Ball's going to 83. Blue 58.
Can't believe he got that pass off. I want the sack.
That's how we do. They don't want none. They don't want none of this.
I really did.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice play, baby. Nice play.
I don't care where they spot it. I'll take it. I'll play it. I'll play it. What you want to do? You want to run the ball? We're going to run the ball. How about that? We're going to run clock. They're really stuffing him in the run game, which is a bit annoying. I brought him in for the fourth quarter so I could run the ball more. I don't care that says it's a bad run play. I'm going to do it. Keep running. Try and run some clock. I only need 15 points. Hit the scoring cap, so. Let's cut back and a touchdown. What? What the hell was that? What in the hell? The celebration button caused a fumble. What? I cannot believe what I'm saying. So I've thrown an interception. A user interception. Missed a PAT attempt. Missed a PAT attempt. Almost gave up a field goal. Missed a punt return. And now fumbled it.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Hey.
They may try to run it here. That was a bad job. What are they gonna do? I will do my best play.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Four down. 319.
Okay, punt block. Crowell had a damn touchdown, and the celebration button fumbled. Wow. Okay, I don't know. Now I have to throw it, because I don't have faith in Crowell right now. He has a fumble. Well, I'll just run it. Why not? Just gotta remember not to celebrate. Not gonna let you do it. Wow, I did that without a kick meter because I once again forgot that I don't have a kick meter, which I gotta stop that. I gotta stop forgetting that I don't have a kick meter. You know, it's one of those things, it's very hard to get the timing right on it, and it's not something I feel comfortable doing under pressure for a live stream. It's just force of habit, I forget. So. Oh well, let's just do what we're gonna do. Play some football. That's what we're here to do. We're here to play football. Do your job. Send him on a blitz just because I don't want to rush just the 3 guys. Hankins with the sack. Again, he's not throwing the ball when he should. Like, the screenplay blew up in your face. Don't sit there trying to throw it still. Good underneath play by Rodgers. Try and get some of the yardage back. I'm still going to go for a block. Let's see. How good is the punter going to be? Probably kick it to me. Yep. But my return guy's not doing anything special with it. Oh. Oh boy. No, 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 no! What the one? At the... Okay. Well, hang on a minute, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to lose this challenge. I am not going to throw it. We're not going to win that challenge. I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to say... I'm just going to press the button that says, fuck it. Sorry for the language, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just a QB sneak with Geno Smith rather than kick myself in the foot with that fake. I have to call a timeout here just because I keep forgetting for the 10,000th time that I do not have... Wait, what? Gotta go to the 2-point conversion package. It wasn't letting me call the one I wanted to do, which was a give around to the running back, tight end give around. But we still got it. 255 to nothing. Almost blown this I don't know how many times. We're gonna blow this too, because I keep forgetting once again I don't have a damn kick meter. He may return that. Yeah, he gonna return that. Nice job, though, stopping at the 22. Once again, I keep forgetting I don't have a damn kick meter. That is a really annoying feature that, oh, you've been playing the game for longer than 2 hours. You know, whatever happened to being able to play a full-length NFL game? They designed it for, like, these quick-age millennial crap. Where, they don't want to play a full-length game. Like, really? We don't want to play a full-length game? And unfortunately, I am a millennial. My legal standing, if you will, is as a millennial because of my date of birth and stuff like that. I'm not a millennial. I have a flip phone. I have a pager. Just today, I took a lot of crap from work because I used the term square up and shack up. And they're like, they hadn't heard that in, like, since the 90s. And I was born in 99, so... Let's see. Blitz. Nope, he's gonna throw it away. I want him to throw me the ball again. I want an interception. I feel sad without them. I feel so sad. I want an interception. I feel so sad. They're not giving me the ball because they're not letting me return it, and they're not letting me get interceptions now. I like moved an inch to the right and he didn't catch that. That I find funny as hell. I moved an inch to the left. Should we pass the ball? Yes, I will give it one pass and then we'll go back to the run.
He's not gonna get me.
Okay, so much for going back to the path because he caught that bump. Right in between the double coverage, too. That's a bullet pass. When they say bullet pass, they meant bullet pass. See, there we go. Fake PAT, 8 shovel. That's what I was looking for. Nope. No. Ah! Big O-lineman wasn't going to let me break. Oh, Nassib. Oh, he is not an O-lineman, then. Damn it to hell, I keep forgetting I don't have a kick meter. Out of bounds? No! That was actually a good kick. With no kick meter, okay. Right. Gotta remember I don't have a kick meter. Got to remember.
Strong right, strong right, strong right.
319.
Put your dukes up, good sir, and let us battle. Oh! Nasty! Nasty! Jonathan Hankins getting in there. Reed missed the sack, but he ran right into the loving arms of Jonathan Hankins.
Tight on this side, boys.
Now with the Indianapolis Colts.
Move.
319.
Three down.
I may have a double team with Sutton here. DeAndre Hall was so close to an interception there if he was a second earlier. Only rushing a couple of guys and we're getting pressure.
Watch left.
Probably a double on Sherrod here. Nope. Couldn't catch it. I don't know why. It was right at him. See, now, you know, after 2 hours of doing a live stream, I just start to get tired. I'm like, you know, I don't really wanna talk about some of this stuff. Lock.
Yeah, baby.
Down at the 1.
Fumble.
I'm glad they didn't score on that, though. We're going to keep doing the QB sneak with Geno Smith. I want to wind clock, though. Hang on. I've got to manually wind this clock, so I have to sit here and talk for like 20 seconds just to wind this clock. Because I do not want to leave Cleveland with any more time. I'm tired. I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning. I'm still around and kicking. It's now 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard, United States. So let us see. Gotta remember, nope, I don't have a kick meter. Can't do it. I don't care if that sounds cheap. A lot of people maybe say, "Oh, you suck. You're not kicking it." As like, I don't care. I want the kick meter. If you're gonna offer that, if I would have turned that off in the game settings because I didn't want it, then obviously I would have no problem with that. I don't. I want the kick meter. It's been in every Madden where it's not something that just randomly turns itself off. I want it here.
319.
I don't know why he threw that away. There wasn't really pressure on him. My guy Karan Reed was actually blocked pretty well. So I don't know what that was. I think that may have just been him trying to mess with me.
319.
He don't want to give me the ball. That's another problem. You don't want to give me the ball, man. Give me the ball. Come on. Give me the ball. Kobe. Kobe. Give me the ball. Once again, this may be a decent punt return. It's either going to be a decent punt return or it's going to be... Oh! Come on. Oh, this may be a touchdown! This may be the touchdown! This is the touchdown! Yeah! Alright! All that hard work for Chris Davis Jr. We stuck with him and it finally paid off! I don't care how lazy this is. I'm sorry. I'm not... There is a feature in the game for a kick meter, and they are not offering it to me. Because whether it's because I'm beating them by too much or because it's a timer is stupid. I don't know why I pressed the button to play the pass in that situation. Because there's no way for me to catch that ball. I just sort of do it to do it.
We got four. We got four.
319.
That was a bad play on my part. And Aaron Rodgers is over 100 yards now. And I only have 7 interceptions. I want more. Come on. Toss me that ball. Gilmore was trying to jump it, but he put himself in good position for the tackle at least. I don't know why he's getting upset about 5 yards. We just gave up 13 yards. And we're better than what the community average is, I guess, because it was a green number. They may try a little run play here. I'll pinch them even though they're going to drop back into coverage. Nope. Nice job by Sherrod getting there on the edge. It's an incompletion, but it is an incompletion.
Check, butt sit. Check, butt sit. Check 82. 122.
319.
First down. Yep. Ah, they're pissing me off. I need to get him. Whether with a pick or a sack, I need to get on him.
4 down. 4 down.
They're beating me at my own game with the underneath pass routes.
59. Mike.
Come on, man. Throw that in bounds so I can catch it. Shoot. You can tell I'm tired now. I don't want to talk. I just want to beat up on Aaron Rodgers. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan, by the way. It's got nothing to do with the fact he's a Packer. I like the Packers. Packers are one of my teams here. Oh, Reggie Ragland almost had that pick. He tried. Yeah, that little pushing and shoving stuff isn't going to do anything.
Watch tight end. Tight right.
Come on now.
319.
We're doing good. We can't get him let a first down. That's an incompletion, thank goodness. Okay. Yeah, had me a little bit nervous there. You know, Hugh Jackson is the best looking coach in this game in terms of realism, which is amazing to me. Like, I saw Andy Reid, but the Chiefs doesn't look like Andy Reid. Let him down it. Kill some clock with the run game. Always got Geno Smith I can fall back on. And they know I'm going to run it. I just want to dive because I ran out of sprint meter, so I'm like, ah, just take the hit. It's not winding the clock. Ah, I gotta manually wind it again. This is wasting my time. This is gonna be the longest broadcast that we've done. It'll be probably it'll be over 2:20 most likely.
Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Yeah. I try and make shorter videos, but the problem is I like playing for extended periods of time. I know a lot of people won't watch videos like that. It's hard to find time in your schedule to watch an hour or 2 hour long video. So that's why I try and keep them short, but doesn't always work out. Like a game like this, I can't stop it. Like start and do like a start and stop thing. He's down at the 1. Wind some more clock rather than score. Yeah, this will take us close to a 2-minute warning. Sim again. That's the downside. See, this has always been the downside for me when I've played Madden. Doesn't matter what Madden I've played. Even on the PS2, I was like, I hated this part where I would basically just sit there and go, oh my god, PAT. Really? I don't wanna. Whether it was a PAT or a kickoff, I just didn't want to. It was just so boring. I do it so many times a game.
Hey, we got time right. Hey.
Thomas Davis got the pressure, but no sack. Oh, that sucks.
I got him. Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Key the tight end.
Put my middle linebacker on a blitz.
Check.
I'm not going to call a timeout. If they want to wind it down to a 2-minute warning, they can go right ahead and do that. I don't mind. They probably won't, though. We'll see. No, they may... Oh, no, over there. They're not going to. This will take it to the 2-minute warning. Now I can run the ball. I'm going to run out the clock until we get close, and then we will toss the ball. Hopefully. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to juke, and it's not really letting me, except by accident, so. Little dog, come here.
Double tight. 3 down.
Flag for 2.
Put it down at the 1-yard line again. Help wind the clock. Come on. Goal line. Because I don't want to end the game just like that at the 1-yard line. I actually went backwards on that. Oh, crap. No huddle. QB sneak. I still got time out of my pocket, so if this doesn't work, we have time. Yeah. All right. They have 9 seconds for Cleveland to get something done. Now 5 seconds. Okay. Can we get one more interception on Aaron Rodgers? That is the question. To be or not to be. An interception on Aaron Rodgers. And DeAndre Hall's got an interception! The young rookie's gonna win the game for the New England Patriots with a 255-0 win. Do a quick round of stats, and then we'll come off just to show everybody what happened. Nobody's gonna get in the passing game. Running game, we are gonna give LeGarrette Blount some love because he did a good job. 223 rushes, 413 yards. What was that, 10 TDs? I know we had a punt return TD for Davis. He did good. He's going to make the stat line. He had 25 punt return, 714 yards, the 1 TD. Logan Ryan, probably get him with 3 picks, but I want to check the receiving numbers. Bennett, interesting enough, but defensively, yeah, Logan Ryan. 3 interception, 1 sack. That's pretty good. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I know this was rather long, so thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll stay tuned for tomorrow, where we'll have the other half of the Super Bowl thing that we were doing, which is the field goal. Not the field goal, the Philly game, which we will have a lot of field goals, probably. Wait. Am I having a game glitch here? I'm not sure if this game is going to hold up. I'm going to stop streaming, but I'm hoping this game holds up and that this is not like a game glitch. And I've completely lost my game right now. So, bye-bye.